Well, folks, when you're fishing near your favourite stream, you usually got to take your own drink. But if you get thirsty in England, you can come to a vending machine. But it's not what you're thinking, folks. You can't get a lovely drink here, but what you can get is the best bait available and universally used. These maggots are absolutely fantastic. Yes, that's right, folks. Maggots or gents. It doesn't matter what you call them. They are the larva of the blowfly and recognised throughout the world as a top fishing bait. Now we've got some hard thinking to do here, because for £1.50 we can have bronzies, white ones, red ones, a mixture of the lot, red worms. Folks, today for £1.50p, about $3.20 Australia, we can have a beautiful punnet of beautiful coloured, come on now, down you come, there we go, beautiful mixed colours in our own little canister that we can give a bit of a shake and show you what we've got here. Look at them. We've got blue ones, yellow ones, crimson ones, white ones. Which one do you want? Woo!
How about this? I'm at Shelton's of Peterborough, one of the biggest tackle shops in the area, and they really cater for the carp specialist. I'm in their showroom here where they show the bivvies, which are the little tents that you can live in while you're out carp fishing on the bank for days and days at a time. And they've got the widest range of tackle that I've ever seen anywhere in the world, I think. Some amazing stuff. Now these are bite indicators. They're electronic bite indicators, and when the fish picks up the bait and runs, you get an electronic indication. Not only here, but there's actually a remote control. I'm not sure where it is at the moment, so that you can carry it with you and it goes off as well. But look, listen to this. When it goes off...
Oh!
You've got the remote, Bushy.
I went to sleep there for a minute. I thought I was on a real river.
There it is, the remote control. Okay, that's what I was talking about. So when there's a pull on the line here, that goes off as well. Look, they've got the most incredible range of gear here. You can spend a fortune on this stuff. This is about what we've got here with the rod pod, with the 3 outfits on it, the bite indicators, the bivvy, the chairs. It's about $4,000 Australian worth to get into your carp fishing, and that's before you get into 20 and 30 kilo bags of ground bait or burley that they put in the water, and all your hook baits and everything else. But there's a lot more to have a look at here in the shop. We'd like to show you a few more of the particularly interesting items. Just to give you a bit of an idea of how large some of these carp are, and also how carefully the anglers here treat them, this is a padded landing mat that the fish is placed on when it's brought onto the bank for de-hooking, measuring, taking photos or whatever. And this is a weighing sling, specially constructed so that you can place the live carp in it, hang it on the scales and measure the weight of that trophy fish before it's returned to the water. They really do take it pretty seriously. And of course they use huge landing nets here too to get the fish out of the water. Bushy, you idiot. These multi-piece take-apart poles are incredibly popular here in Britain for freshwater fishing. They're used without a reel, the line's attached to the end of them, and in many cases they run an elastic up the centre of the top few sections, which acts like a big bungee cord if you hook a large fish. And some surprisingly large fish get caught on these poles. Carp in excess of 20 pounds have been landed on them just with that fixed length of line. As you can see, they're pretty long. Many of them are 11 or 12 metres long, and they go all the way up to 14 or 15 metres in length. This is a top-of-the-line Shimano pole, and it's worth close to 4,000 Australian dollars, but you can spend more than that on one as well. There's a new one on the market that's reputed to be worth close to $25,000 Australian. That's a lot of dough for a fishing pole.
Steve, this is a great shop. Look at this. Apart from all the fishing gear, they've even got stuff for carp anglers to eat while they're out there. Look at that. Nibblies, pineapple and banana. It's great. More in here. Tutti frutti.
They're not snacks, Bushy. They're bait. and ground bait. These are the things they put on the hooks. Look, I've just been reading about it, and I've got a couple here. You bore a little hole through them, run a thread through them, and tie it onto your hook. They're called boilies. They're like flour and water and eggs and stuff, and then they form them into a little ball and drop them in boiling water, and they get quite tough on the outside. And the pop-ups actually float, so they float up off the bottom with the hook attached to them. You probably could eat them.
No, you're kidding. He's kidding, folks. These have to be nibblies for the bus ride. You couldn't fish like that.
We'll bring them along and we'll see how they go. But when it comes to the ultimate in carp fishing paraphernalia, you can't go past the electronic bait boat. How about this thing, Bushy? It's actually radio operated, radio controlled, goes out there and drops your ground bait, or burley as we call it in Australia, into the water where you want to fish. And you can even put your hook baits in it and deploy it. It's got a jet motor, and oh yeah, that's how it works. Pretty good. All right, let's load it up.
Load it up.
We'll put a few boilies in there.
Oh, they're the nibblies.
We'll have one later. Okay, pop it in the water. And away it goes. Now the whole idea with this, Bushy, is you just drive it to the spot where you want it. That's where we want to deploy our ground bait, and we dump. How about that? Now you've got the depth sounder in your hand. The thing's actually got a transducer built into it. What are we in there? 4.8 feet of water. Perfect. Okay, now I'll bring it back and we'll load it up with some more ground bait, send it out. We can even put our hook bait in it so that when we get out there we flip the door, the bait falls out, and we've got the bait right where we want it instead of having to cast it. Tell you what, it doesn't come cheaply though. It's 1,100 pounds, or about $2,500, but I'll tell you what, it's a toy every fisherman should have. It's good fun. Shame to waste the fuel we've got left by putting them out there for the fish to eat.
I'll tell you what, it's bait.